Hi guys, and welcome to my board game video. My board game is called Healthy Relationships. To start off, we'll talk about my topic. So I chose consent in healthy relationships for third grade and through fifth grade. I chose this topic because I've run across some students in my time teaching that have had a hard time building relationships and healthy relationships with their classmates. So I wanted to cover this topic. That way they know the differences between a healthy and unhealthy relationship. So my game format is like a normal board game, and the design is similar to Candyland. And then I used an online tool called Genially. I think that's how it's pronounced. But this tool, basically it created a whole board game template, and all I had to do was change the content within the board game. So I just put all the content about healthy and unhealthy relationships, consent, and so on. So components of my board game. Over here is the game icon. So there's up to 4 players, and each has a different icon with a different color to determine and know who is who. And then there's 1 die within this game. I also incorporated a move back space and a move forward space. So whenever a student reaches this space on the game board, they'll just move however many spaces it says to. So the rules of my game, students will start off by rolling the die that's in the top right corner of the board game, and then they'll move that number of spaces. And once they get to the space that they landed on, they will click on the number that's right above or below the space, and then they will answer a question. So instead of having each person that's going, so player 1 starts and they go to space 4, instead of having that person answer the question by themselves, they're going to answer as a whole group. That way they're answering together and not the rest of the players are spacing off and not paying attention. They're all engaged at the same time. And then the repeat. So if, like I said, player 1 lands on space 4 and then player 2 rolls a 4 as well, instead of them answering the same question again, we'll just have player 2 move the next space. So they'll answer the question that is associated with space number 5. And then whoever reaches the last space of the board game first wins. Educational content. So within the topic of consent and healthy relationships, I based the categories off of the standards associated with that topic. So we have healthy versus unhealthy relationships, explaining consent, personal boundaries, and bodily autonomy, identifying trusted adults to talk to about relationships, and how to communicate personal boundaries and respecting others' boundaries. So within those content areas, there's different types of questions. And then each area, so I'll go back for a second. So each area is a different color on the board game. So as you see, this color is pink, so it's associated with a certain category. So there's multiple choice, there's true or false, there's an image selection, so they'll pick whatever image they think is an unhealthy relationship. This one is video and Google Forms. So first, the students will need to click on the link that goes to a video. They'll watch that video. They'll come back to the question and then click on the other link that'll go to a Google form, and they'll have to fill out that Google form and then submit it before moving on. And then this one is also a video, but instead of going to a Google form, it's just a question inside the game. So why this content? I picked it because I think it helps students will learn about consent. It also helps students learn how to build healthy relationships, and then they'll also be able to recognize what is unhealthy, and they can avoid those types of relationships. Real life scenarios. So this one also, if they click on it, it'll say, click on the link below, fill out the Google form. It'll take them to a Google form. They'll have to write in their group name. That way we know whose is whose. And then they'll read the question. They'll talk about it with their group. And then one person, probably the one whose turn it is, they'll type in their answer that they talked about. And then however many questions there are, they'll fill them all out, and then they will submit the Google form again. So group collaboration. Students are answering all the questions as a whole group instead of individually, which is going to spark conversation, and it's going to spark ideas that maybe another student has not thought of. So it helps them work on their communication skills to determine a healthy outcome for the scenarios. And then here is my example of the game board. So there's like 46 spaces. Yeah, 46 spaces. We'll start off in the right-hand corner and roll the dice. Then they move the number of spaces, click on the number above, and then they'll answer a question. And this tool is cool because it'll show you if you got the question right or wrong. So then the next person will go. We'll go to space 6. Click on the number. And this one says move ahead 3 spaces. So I'll move ahead. And if a student lands on a move ahead space, they still have to answer a question. So whatever space they land on next, they'll answer. So they answered number 9. And then player 3 goes to number 3. And this one is a move back space, but you'll notice that the pink icon is already there. So they were on space 3, couldn't go to space 2. So then move forward 1, then answer that question. And then number 5, so they answer that question. So this question is one where they have to watch a video. So it'll take them to the video. They'll answer, or they'll watch it.
Oh, you won't believe my dad had. It was so.
And then they'll exit out, go back to the game, and then answer the question. And they'll submit it. Looks like they got it right. And they'll continue. So we go back to the pink icon, the player 1. So the students need to remember whose is whose. But this one, they moved forward 3, but somebody was already on that space. So then they're going to go again. And then that one was already taken, so they moved to the next available space. And then this one is a Google form. So they'll type in their answer and submit at the end after they talk about it and find a consensus on what's a good answer. And then roll again. Move 2 space, or move 5 spaces. And then move 1. And then this question has a video they need to watch. They'll watch the video. So that one was a little music video. And then they'll again go back, click on the Google form, fill it out, and then keep going until somebody reaches the end space. But that was my game board. Thank you for watching.